Okay, so let's actually get to why we're here today and start talking about Dokkan.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean that is what this show's supposed to be about, right?
I thought this was just called the Gang Podcast.
But is it though? Is it?
Is it? Oh, hey, guess who forgot to mute his alerts during this show? That was loud. 1 second.
I never heard anything. It never came through on our end.
Yep, it doesn't come through on your end, but trust me, my eardrums felt it. All right, so we talked a little bit last week about the upcoming Pan and Grandpa Gohan unit, but we didn't have any real details for it. So we're going to do the deep dive right now. We're going to jump in, starting with the new event, Pan, Gohan, and the Full Moon Monster. Let's see here. Haze Inc., you ran this event, I'm sure. What did you think of the grind for the unit?
It was better than grinding for the SA5 that I didn't have for Candy Vegito and for Gotenks. The drop rate wasn't too bad. The fact that it gives you the combined drop rate if the characters are Goku's family and Kamehameha, which obviously pretty much all of them are, unless you're running Cell and Boo and stuff like that. So obviously you're quite easily able to get the double drop rate. I didn't think it was too bad. Honestly, for this character, I didn't think it was too bad at all.
And then I'm sure nobody had any issues forming a team with Goku's family and Kamehameha.
No, I doubt it. I mean, you get so many options for that, don't you? I mean,
It's
probably...
I was gonna say you literally can form an all LR
Yeah.
double Kamehameha Goku's family team.
That's what I did. Yeah, I think you get something like 245% boost to drop rate or something like that if you do that.
It's like 252.
252, really.
It's-
I had
just wanna
5
say,
LRs
sorry.
on my team.
Screw Bandai.
It was
because-
weird that they did it like because I was just like, really? We're gonna do a lot less percentage? Like, but I understand
if you-
too because they don't want people to breeze through it.
Yeah.
Test, what's up?
Yeah, if you compare it to like the Peppy Girls event where you get like a much higher boost, I was annoyed by that. You get into like well into the 300s. I was
Yeah.
expecting
Yeah.
300s.
Is the Peppy Gals one not the only other one that does the combined categories? I can't remember any other one that does the two categories give you a boost on both.
Yeah, I think it's just those two events do that.
It'd be quite cool if they done that going forward, but not if they decrease the rate of the single category, obviously.
Prime Battle Trunks,
Yeah, yeah.
Future Saga,
Future
and
Saga
Android. So if you have
androids.
so if you have both Future Saga and Android characters, like the free-to-play Future Android 17 and 18, they gave you a double count for both their bonus.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
I wasn't really thinking. To be honest, in my defence, I was only thinking about like, actual like events, not Prime Battle. But okay.
Because who farms Prime Battles, right?
Was that-
That's true.
Was that like after they did the whole like campaign for it?
That came out as part of the campaign, I believe.
Okay, that's why then, because I did the Prime Battle Trunks before the campaign started.
I did all of that. All of the ones that I could do before their campaigns, I did, because I like getting those extra stones and Kais.
To SA20.
Yeah,
To SA20, fully free to play, rainbowed, yeah.
Why would you do SA20 before the event drops?
when you're
though?
bored.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah, I
so
think I
so
did
aren't
the
you
same
like
for-
the king of saying there's not shit to do in this game?
Aye, but don't but doing shit
Fight,
for the sake of
fight,
doing
fight,
shit,
fight.
man. It's like, oh no.
Well-
I hate Prime Battle events. They're just so. Anytime I do them, it's like 5 medals, 5 medals, 5 medals. At least when you've got the bonus, you're like, I've got 5 medals times 3. That's not so bad. You know, it's just.
So
It doesn't hurt as much when you've got the bonuses to see those tiny wee numbers.
honestly,
I do-
it's a little bit different for me because this is my second account, like my second account that I've considered to be my main account. I lost my original account, so for a lot of that stuff, I feel like I've been playing catch up, and I just wanted to get it and get it done, so I felt like I regained some of what I lost.
Yeah, no, I've got you. I mean, I've got Krillin sitting there done, but he's only done the SA10. I'll just leave him because that's enough for me to get the stones. Do you know what I mean? And then when his event drops, I don't even think Japan have had that yet, have they? I don't think they have.
I don't think there's been a Prime Krillin event yet, or campaign yet.
No. So
Oh,
when
no,
that
not
finally
yet.
does drop, I'll get him up to SA20 and all paths open. No, I think all paths are open. Yeah, all paths are open.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here at Prime Battle. Krillin is SA20, Rainbow Link level 10.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
got my
gosh.
Krillin done as well.
Dude's on my World Tournament team. He needs some love. Slap a little respect on that bald head.
I've got Vegeta and Nappa for my World Tournament team, so I don't really use
Dude.
Krillin to be honest.
My World Tournament team is 4 AoE units and then Jocko and Chaozu.
Oh,
Yep.
I know we're getting into it later, but you're just reminding me that World Tournament's coming up. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be an interesting one for sure.
We'll touch on that later. We'll touch
Yeah.
on that later.
So- So getting back to Pan and Grandpa Gohan here, jumping in to take a look at their Awakened version. They are Kamehameha category, key 3 stats 50%. They raise their defense for 1 turn and cause supreme damage to the enemy. Passive skill is attack plus 80% when performing a super attack and great chance of an additional attack plus 80%. Defense plus 20% with each super attack performed up to 80%. Key plus 2 plus an additional attack and defense plus 40% when there's another Goku's Family category ally attacking in the same turn, and recovers hit points with candy. Link skills are Kamehameha, All in the Family, Courage, Solid Support, Cold Judgment, Shattering the Limit. Categories are Joined Forces, Goku's Family, and Kamehameha. More than 2 categories means this is not a trash unit. So, you know, that's what I'm going to start off here. Namor, what are you thinking about this unit?
I think they're good, but like, I'm really gonna run them over like the other options on their teams, like Joint Forces, Goku's Family. It's all like full of top tier units, so I don't really know when I'm gonna use this unit.
It does feel a little like adding water to an overflowing cup at this point, doesn't it?
Yeah, like Gotenks and Ghost is like, it's a unique name. You can use him in, Super Battle World and stuff, and it's actually pretty useful. But this unit is like, I don't know, it's weird.
All right. Test, what are your thoughts on this unit? Did I lose Test?
I hate the
There
event.
You hate
For,
the
like,
event.
first
All right.
hour or so. No, for the first hour or so, I just did not get any drop. I just kept getting the item, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? I lowered my boost all the way down to like 150, went back all the way to 250, and then I finally got a copy, and I was like, thank you, God. I almost put Kai's into it just because I didn't want to go through it anymore. But
Really?
yeah, I just was not getting any drops. And then, like, for some weird reason, when I stopped using super attacks, I just started getting drops from it. I was like, okay then, I'm just going to use this formula and keep running with it. But I haven't actually used them yet. Like Nemo said, bit of a weird unit as they really, you kind of can't fit them into anywhere. Like, I mean, if you're using free-to-play, if you are a free-to-play player, it's a great option to like fit into either of the teams. But as someone who's like, you might have killing. If you're running a proper Joint Forces team, they're not fitting in there.
No, they're not. Is Joined Forces now a free-to-play category?
Yamcha, the from World Tournament.
Right. No,
120.
I mean, but like, are there enough units where you can run a full free? Yes, there are.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of them.
Um,
I might have to do that. There you go, Hazing. We'll do a full free-to-play Joint Forces race at some point.
Oh, that's that. Well, see, my thoughts on this Gohan and Pan, I think they missed a trick with it. I don't understand why they didn't make it a support unit. Kamehameha, of all categories, doesn't really have any dedicated support units. I mean, there's an argument they don't need it, right? Let's be honest, you can obliterate things with the Kamehameha category, but you don't really have anything on the Kamehameha category that is actually a dedicated support unit. So why did they not just make this a support unit?
there's only one, and it's the Jackie Chun from the World Tournament, but he doesn't have an awakening yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, even then, with him, there's no harm in having two, you know what I mean? Because most people in an ideal situation, if they could, they would like to run, if they could, a couple of support characters in the third slot, do you know what I mean, on it, so that you've got a support character popping up in a couple of rotations. And I think if they had put some kind of support onto this character, people may have used it in builds, but like's already been said, the categories are so stacked. Who's going to use this character? I mean, next year probably we're going to get an easy area. If they follow what we've just got, you have to imagine that next year this character and Trunks will get an easy area, which will be really good because I'd love to see that Trunks be an easy area, to be honest. But if they do what they've done this year and awakened the two from last year and the year before, next year they should hopefully awaken last year's and this year's. But I still don't see at that point anybody running this character, even if you do get an easy A on them.
I mean, it would depend if they make it a Kamehameha category support when they give it the easy A, depending on what the game looks like in a year. I could see me running them. I'm actually a huge fan of running 3 supports if I can get them, because that takes care of my floater spot. I never have to worry about what's going to float. I have my main rotation, and then the other 3 just roll.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? And this would fit the mold for it because, like I say, I can't really think of many other categories that don't really have any supports to speak of. Yeah, Jackie Chun, yeah, but apart from that, he's a semi-rare character, I suppose, because World Tournament characters, I mean, let's be honest, you could go years without getting one of them, depending on how the RNG goes for you, you know. But something like this, a free-to-play unit, people would have used it on a support role on Kamehameha. Maybe not Goku's family, but on Kamehameha definitely. It would have seen some use. So I don't know. I just feel like they've missed a trick with this one. It's a nice unit. It's a different, good enough idea, but I don't know. I just think that they could have done a bit better with it.
See, honestly, my biggest gripe with the unit is not even the unit. Like, if you guys look at the missions, one of the missions obviously is to 100% like the unit itself with hidden potential, and it ticks me off because it's like I had to use my red orbs for that.
Yes.
To get that mission, and I think that's really, really dumb. Like you shouldn't force your players to use up the orbs that they're probably saving for an actual unit that they can like use consistently. Not saying this unit can't be used consistently, but
no, 100% agree with you there. They normally only put that mission on if they've got an orb area. Like characters that have got a stage 2 where it drops orbs, fine, fair enough, but you're actually taking a currency in the game, we'll call it a currency, a resource, right, in the game that's, let's be honest, orbs are valuable. I know that there's people out there that will say, even maybe commenting here, oh, I've got 22,000 orbs, but if you're someone who pulls a lot of units, orbs are like absolute gold dust in this game. I literally spend my battlefield currency buying orbs before I buy the LRs because orbs are just so hard to come by. At least I think they are anyway.
It's absolutely, and that's why it threw me for a loop. I was like, oh, there must be another stage to it, and then the more research I did, I was like, there's no stage 3. Yeah. And it was unbelievable to me that they were forcing us to use our STR orb. I was like, come on now, like you can do so much better than that.
And the percentage you get back for it's not even a lot. You know how like some of the missions actually give you small orbs, medium orbs, large orbs. Mm-hmm. I think you need to spend like 4,000 something small orbs, and you only get 500 back from the missions. So it's like it's not like when you do a prime battle character, when you max them out in potential, you get a large chunk of that back when they drop the missions. Like I think Hercule, when you got him at 100%, you probably got at least 80% of those orbs back as rewards for the missions, but you're maybe getting, 25% of them back, and you have to ask yourself, is it worth the investment for, 2 stones, 3 stones?
I guess it's going to really boil down to if this unit does get an easy A, and if it does, you know, in my personal opinion, if I'm having to use my fucking orbs, it better be worth the investment, because if not, like, I'm gonna be frustrated, because it's like, I definitely need those, you know. Well, like, I still haven't pulled Kefla. I want Kefla, and I need orbs for her. So
yeah,
you know, I guess it sucks for me.
I mean, I don't want to jump the gun and predict what a Katsuki are going to do, because obviously you can't do that. But I'd like to think that them doing the awakening, the Easy A awakening for Candy Vegito and Ghost Tanks, means that next year they'll hopefully give the other 2, so like Trunks has been mentioned, who I think could be awesome in Easy A, because he already is pretty good. And this character in Easy A, just fingers crossed that is the way. We don't know, obviously, but looking at what they've just done, you would like to think that means that next year they'll awaken the other 2 outstanding ones.
Yeah, I mean, at least Trunks, because Trunks is now a year old at this point, and by next year
Yeah.
he'll be 2 years old. I would say adding another stage to the easy or to the easy area that we'll be covering here in a minute would probably be an ideal way of handling that situation.
Yeah.
Straight back.
Um,
And Trunks is good as well. I think for a free-to-play unit, Trunks is one of the, I don't want to say one of the better ones, but he's pretty damn good.
He's really good. Yeah, we'll get to him here in a little bit too. We're gonna do a recap of all the Halloween units as we go. So,
You mean hello meme?
yes, the Hollow meme units.
Lol.
I'm still really surprised at how many people don't understand the concept behind this card. They are the two members of Goku's family that have fought Goku or had to deal with Goku while he's been great aped.
Oh yeah.
And then to
Yeah,
really
it's just
tie
a
it
fun-
into that Halloween thing, like I said last week, the Ozaru form in Dragon Ball is essentially the werewolf mythology. You know, you turn into a rampaging monster at the full moon, you have no control. So essentially, what they did was give us werewolf hunters for Halloween as a unit.
Which
But
is
they
really cool.
but they do actually
I don't
have
think it-
werewolf. But they do actually have werewolves in Dragon
Yes,
Ball.
Manwolf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And his I actually really liked that take on it. When Jackie Chun destroyed the moon, he made it so werewolves couldn't change back.
Yeah.
Shout outs
Yeah.
to Krillin's head.
Shout outs to
Yeah.
Krillin's head.
But then they've done away with all that animal people thing. I think they reference it in Kakarot. Supposedly it was like drug addicts or something like that. They've done something weird that's why there was so many animal hybrids.
It was some sort of like capsule or like a potion people could take, and then it just became a trend to become like an animal person.
Yeah.
And from there on, those people just kept. I was gonna say breeding, but like populating.
What? I was fine with there
Yeah.
just being anthropomorphic animals. Like
No,
I was
like-
cool with that. I didn't
Kakarot's
need an
done all the
explanation.
things.
They've addressed it because
Are
basically
you telling
people.
me that Bergamo's a drug addict? What the
No.
fuck?
No. Bergamo's from another
Bergamo's from a
universe.
different universe.
No,
No,
I
no,
know.
no,
I'm
we're
just
good.
playing.
But-
But like, you're telling me
obviously-
the king of the world, the dog man, he's a druggie?
Basically, that's the reason they've given, because people tried to reference the whole. You know how there's that whole meme about Toriyama forgot. People will say that Toriyama forgets this, Toriyama forgets that, and the actual reason they gave behind it was he hadn't forgotten. It's just the world changed where that drug or whatever it was became less prevalent, and people didn't do it anymore. So as that happened, the whole animal hybrid thing died out. So that's why you don't really see them in the world of Super and stuff like that.
Wow. Things you learn doing this show, guys.
I think it was just retroactively putting in an excuse for why he forgot to keep doing the
I mean,
animal
I'm
people,
sure,
you know.
I'm sure
could
like
introduce so
Kakarot
many
also made it that Android 21 was the one who helped build like the gravity chamber room thing.
Yeah,
for,
because
like,
technically,
Professor Bria.
technically the things that happen in Kakarot are meant to be considered canon, aren't they?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. It's like it's canon if you want that extra bit of like, little spice there. Like it's there. You can believe it if you want.
Yeah.
It's starting to get to Star Wars level of explaining shit that doesn't need to be explained. Like,
Don't worry, Disney's gonna buy.
don't worry.
We're gonna get
We're gonna have our own standalone series about the kid who sucked up a broom into his hand at the end of the one movie, and then there's gonna be like a whole Disney Plus series about the Jawa who repaired R2D2.
It's so funny that Disney's come into the discussion, because there's actually a lot of rumours going about that Disney are meant to be considering making a Dragon Ball thing, because Fox owned the rights to do live action Dragon Ball, and obviously with Disney buying Fox, it means that the rights, allegedly, Disney have got some sort of a stake in it, and they're meant to be looking at potentially doing some sort of a thing with Dragon Ball. And I mean, there's actually talk about this. Don't know how true it is or how much it's bullshit, but allegedly they want to put like Marvel levels of production values into doing something with Dragon Ball. If that worked, it could be phenomenal, but obviously it could be Dragon Ball. What was it called? That
Evolution.
crap film?
Evolution.
I couldn't believe it.
Damn movie ever.
Mate, people said it's the worst film ever, don't watch it, and I'm like, you know what, it can't be as bad as people saying. Oh my, for the minute it starts, I'm like, when it was describing like history, I went, oh my god, this is going to be terrible, but I couldn't not watch it. And then I'm watching it and I'm like, oh my god, Piccolo's Spike for Buffy, so I'll keep watching it. And it
Right, that was the only thing that
horrible.
saved the whole movie for me.
That
Yeah.
was why I
Only
watched
thing.
that. It's like, you know what I mean? I loved
I'm
Buffy, so
upset.
I was like, I'll
I'm
watch
upset
it.
about
It
that
was
movie.
awful. Yeah, I
They
don't
did
blame
my
you, man.
boy.
It was awful.
They
That
did,
film.
they did the boy Chow Yun Fat wrong.
Yeah, Chow Yun Fat was that was a bad Master Roshi.
Every single person in that film was miscast. It was just awful, man. It was so
Okay,
bad.
outside of some of the things they did with the characterization of Goku and the age placement and things like that they decided to do, I will say I chuckled quite a bit when the bullies were trying to fight him and all he was doing was dodging and making them hit each other. I'm into that slapstick
It was
bullshit.
Ultra
That
Instinct.
was pretty funny.
So
It
you
was
must have
Ultra
liked
Instinct.
you must have liked Spider-Man when he was dodging Flash and stuff like that in the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man. You know, when he's trying to punch him and he's like dodging
Yep,
at him slowly.
yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see your sense of humour. Aye.
Well,
Nah, I think you're looking too much into it.
of
trying
course,
to find
there's
good
just
things about
Spider-Man.
that film.
You say anything Spider-Man, and I'm most likely a fan. I even like the Japanese live-action show. I like the old 1970s one with Nicholas Hammond as Peter Parker. I'm a Spider-Man nut. So
Same here. Don't this podcast could completely change if we talk on this topic, so we won't, right? But if you watch some of my videos, I've brought up Spider-Man a good few times, and yeah, I'm a massive Spider-Man stan.
he really is Scottish me.
Can I ask you one quick question, then we'll drop the subject of Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, or Tom Holland?
Tobey Maguire was the better Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield had the better Spider-Man, and Tom Holland is a near perfect blend of the two of them.
You're definitely me. Yes, we'll go with that. That's absolutely fine. That's fine. That's the right answer. I agree. I love Spider-Man though. But yeah, back to Dragon Ball. Back to Dragon Ball.
Right. Welcome back to the Distracted Global Gang podcast.
What is up, my dudes? If you like this clip, be sure to check out the full episode down below in the description. Also in the description below, you can find all of our panelists on Twitch, YouTube, and various social media. Be sure to like and subscribe and ring that bell so that you know when the GGP puts up some freshly squeezed content.